I'm Jay Horton. I make movies that make money. This is how. This week, I had a new filmmaker reach out to me and basically ask me to help them fund their movie. Look, I have directed and produced a lot of movies, but honestly, the budgets are mostly very low. The movies are making money. However, I am far from what you would consider to be wealthy. I make enough money to pay my bills every month, put a little back for retirement, and pay down the debt that I've built up from all the years struggling to make a living making my movies. But I do not consider myself to be some super successful individual. When it comes to finding money for my next movie, I'm looking for it just like everyone else. I've had some modest success, and I do not take that for granted, but I'm also no kind of superstar. Just like most of you, I'm currently trying to find financiers for my finished scripts. I've directed several financially successful movies, but believe it or not, it still feels each and every time like I'm starting all over when it comes to looking for the money. I do still struggle getting my own stuff off the ground. I just finished up production on Craving, and to get that movie done, I had to turn to crowdfunding. Over 70% of the $100,000 budget on that movie was raised through crowdfunding because I couldn't find the money for it traditionally, at least not all of it, and I could not afford to cover it myself. And yet, all the time, people ask me for help to introduce them to other producers I've worked with or help them raise money. And look, I'm not bitching about it. I am fine with people reaching out to me, but the truth is, for the most part, the only person I've ever been able to raise money for is me. I mean, I ran another crowdfunding campaign like 3 years ago, and I ran it in pretty much the same way I did Craving, but Craving I raised 60 grand for, that movie petered out around 15. I've just never really been able to help others raise money. And it's not a selfish statement, it's just true. The investors and producers that I've worked for in the past, they invested in me. Not necessarily the project I brought to them, they invested in me as a filmmaker, a writer, a producer, as a person. And that's what I think it's hard for certain people to understand. They ask me for help to help them finance their projects, but I really can't. I'm still struggling to find my own money. Now, I can tell them how I've done my fundraising, I can share my experiences, and I've done videos on that on this channel, but I cannot raise the money for you. On the flip side, many years ago, I asked a working director, someone who's made a ton of movies that you have heard of, to help me in that exact same way. And of course they couldn't. I suppose my thought process was really no different than those that are asking me for help now. We all kind of think, well, this cat's further along than I am, so he can help me out, right? I think that most working artists, regardless of where they are in their careers, are not so different. We're all still trying to figure out things for ourselves. We all want to help others, and when we do achieve a certain level of success, we do, or at least we try to. But where is that level of success where you can help others out? Is it, when you have 30 movies under your belt, is it where I'm at? And then how much can we really help, and in what way? Well, unfortunately, it's often not in the way that the person that's asking help with wants. I'm going to be honest with you. I am just not in a position to help other filmmakers find money or a producer for their projects. I'm just not. I am not someone who can or will invest in your project outside of minor crowdfunding contributions. Is there other stuff that I can do though? Well, I may not be able to help a struggling director raise money for his project. I might not know of a producer that would help either. But I can tell him how I found money for my projects. I can go over what writing and directing techniques have worked for me and what didn't. I can tell them how I distributed or marketed my successful projects and what went wrong with my failures. And I do on this channel. Then hopefully one day as I make more money and connections, maybe I can help produce other people's movies myself. And I think that would be really cool. I'd love to be in a strong enough financial position to help fund projects for others, projects that I really believe in. And hopefully, one day very soon, I'll be able to do just that. That's actually a goal of mine in the coming years. But for now, I give my advice. I share my stories. That's what I do. That's what I have to give. If you want to learn how to make more money with your independent films, you can subscribe now. But whatever you do, keep making movies.